must be catching. I got it. You've got it. Everybody's got it. It must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Birds in the tree, man, they got it. Fish in the sea, they've got it. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. No need to worry.
Welcome. Yes, I am jazzing it up already. Welcome to Jazzabrations Live. This is my fourth show here on MorrisMediaLive.com. I am so excited, and I'm supposed to stop using the word excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon, over the top, all of that. Because today I have three wonderful guests in studio with me today. Yes. The first person that I'm going to bring to the podium, to the camera, to whatever.
To you.
I'm going to bring it to you. Coming live is my jazz and blues living legend, Miss Mary Bogue. In the house. Thank you, my dear, for joining me.
Where else would I be on a gorgeous Sunday than with you?
Oh, I am so happy that you're here. Well, I'm going to jump right into our part of the interview.
Jump.
And I have some questions that I'd like for you to answer for me.
Okay.
When were you born? Let's just go there.
All right. Upstate New York.
You were born in upstate New York?
I was, honey, outside of Buffalo, if you can imagine that.
Oh, my God.
That's where they report when it doesn't snow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any children?
I've had 16 foster kids.
Oh.
Adopted one young lady named Amber. And then in our studio today is my daughter of choice.
Oh,
Claude.
We'll get to her. Yes, Miss Claude, her daughter of choice. So when did you come to arrive in California?
1959. I was 8 years old. We fell into San Diego and a block from the ocean, so it was pretty fabulous.
Wow.
I have to say, yeah. Pretty fabulous.
And then what age did you start singing?
I did some junior high school stuff and the high school drama stuff, and liked it, and then was very fearful. I moved to L.A. at the age of 18 and thought I would fall into some acting until I met some people of ill repute, we'll put it that way, and that scared me to death. And so I was like, yeah, no, not going to happen. And backburnered that, and then I would have at my home the great Marshall Royal on saxophone for 4th of July parties, and the Count Basie Band, Guts of the Basie Band, and always wanted to sing with them, but never knew where to start. So it wasn't until, I'm going to say about 10 or 11 years ago, that I got into singing. So
great. Okay. And so do you have any relatives in this business?
I have no relatives in this business.
Oh, great. So it's no lineage to carry on, but that's all right. So you don't have a stage name. I generally ask, where did you get your stage name from? But Mary Bogue is just straight out.
It's just, I'm too old to lie. It's way too old.
I gotcha. So here's a question I have.
Yes, ma'am.
Since being awarded the Living Legend of Jazz Award, how has that award impacted your life at this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the most import that it has is the responsibility that comes with it to do a better job, to be inclusive of a younger generation, to help mentor, to understand the weight that carries. For me, it carries the weight of the other greats who have come and gone before us, the likes of Helen Humes, the likes of Linda Hopkins, Les McCann, my dear friends in the business. And so I take it very seriously. It is not something to just toss away. It comes with a lot of weight, and I can't be more thankful than I am for that honor. So thank you for all that you've done to perpetuate jazz for the ages and to make a record of it. Because before you, really, names have come and gone, and we have been none the wiser for them having left us.
Oh, thank you so much. So who would you like to sing or play with, past or present, that you haven't?
I'd go back to the Guts of the Basie Band. When I got married in 1981, or in 87, excuse me, I met my late husband in 81. In 87, we had the Guts of the Basie Band in our backyard. And that was pretty amazing to have all that talent there. And wouldn't it be wonderful to have Basie, Bill? I was introduced to him as Bill Basie by Helen Humes, introduced me backstage at the Hollywood Bowl just before she passed away. And she took me over and said, Mary, this is Bill. Bill, this is Mary. I went, Bill? He's Bill? My God, it's Bill Count Basie. And I'm just like, hi, Bill.
Oh, that was great.
So silly and lame. Hi, Bill.
So what is your favorite performance venue?
Oh, right now, I have to admit, it's Vitello's, upstairs at Vitello's, where I'll be bringing a show along with my mentee, Claude, who you'll have an opportunity to meet, at upstairs at Vitello's on October 19th. It's called Both Sides Now.
Oh, I cannot wait.
And it's really a thrilling show. We're really finding the both sides of us. And I'm bringing both sides of love, and Claude will tell you about what she's bringing to the table for that show. So, and it's in great music that you'll recognize and feel great with. And there's music from all three of my CDs. So there's a little bit of each, something from each CD.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. And do you have anything personally that you would like for the audience to know?
Jazz is alive and well, and don't listen to the rumors, because we're all here. We're still doing it. Blues is alive, so is jazz. And we have a younger generation that is being brought up to recognize that and to play it. And I think it's our responsibility to share it.
Absolutely. And how do people follow you online?
Oh, it's so easy. It's marybogue.com, number one. And also on Facebook, regular Mary Bogue. And then there's Mary Bogue Music as well on Facebook. So like the page, jump in, go to the website, fish around. There's pictures of the awards that you so graciously granted. There are pictures of Helen and Linda Hopkins and myself with Les McCann, who, as you know, duetted with me on one of my CDs, and all kinds of good stuff from the past. So there's some great photos on there, as well as links to all the music on the website.
Oh, great, great. And then when I added this question to my line of questions, people were like, oh, no, don't go there, don't do that. But I want to know personally for myself how you would like to be remembered.
You know what? That's a question that I asked Helen Humes when I interviewed her all those years back. And the fascinating part, how do I want to be remembered, is just a woman with a compassionate heart that and soul who hopefully has made a little light into some lives, that has shined upon those who have been a little more downtrodden, or with, let's see, I guess just that, that maybe I made a little difference in some people's lives along the way.
Great.
That's good enough.
Yes, ma'am. And then the last and final question is, do you feel that jazz and blues is in the good hands with the next generation?
Oh, I know for sure it is. I just was at the Jazz versus Cancer show at Catalina's, and they had a young group, a young quartet out front playing. And these kids were wailing. These kids were so good. It was amazing. And so you look at that, and you look at what's happening in the schools today, and these kids are thirsty, and they need to hear the old stuff. They really do. You know, and you have, as you know, you have Terry Gibbs still out there, you know, who is active on Facebook, and you have people like Christopher Aguilar, who is, you know, doing his thing, and so you have it's multi-generational.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere. It really isn't.
That's how I feel too. So, and we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back And with that, we're going to talk about you and Claude's show coming up.
Okay.
Don't forget to call in 323-293-3375. As soon as we come back, we should have some callers on the line.
We better.
Yes, sir.
Must be catching. I got it. You've got it. Everybody's got it. It must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Birds in the tree. Man, they got it. Fish in the sea. They've got it. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. No need to worry. It started with Adam. He looked at Eve, and man, she had him. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Say la vie. Why should you doubt it? You can't live without it. Man, I know you can't live without it. It must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Now when I was 2, I didn't think of it.
OMG,
Since I
am
met you,
feeling this song. Catching it.
man, I love
Right?
Yes, yes.
it. Must
Woo!
be
Now, welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. And I'm your host, Linda Morgan, with my two good friends here. I was just talking to Mary Bogue, jazz living legend Mary Bogue, and we did a few rounds of questions. And now I'm bringing in her daughter, Claude.
It's me.
Yay!
My baby.
That's her baby. And so I am so happy to have both of them here with me today. They have a show that you saw on the screen, if you're watching us live, that they're going to be doing on October the 19th at Vitello's in Studio City. There it is on the screen. So if you don't know them, I'd like for you to go on Facebook. I'd like you to Google them, Mary Bogue and Claude Hall. Google them. Okay.
And Claude is, by the way, is Claude.
Right.
Yes, I say it with a twist.
She says it with a twist. Welcome to the show, Claude.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda.
Jump right in here and tell us a little bit about you little emerging. Thanks to Mary, I'm going to have an emerging artist show.
Yes, well, like a lot of us, we don't find what we love until later on. And I twiddled around, and I was 35 when I thought, I'll start taking vocal lessons. And
You don't look a day over 22, girl. Stop
I
it.
know, but we don't crack.
I know.
And white ain't right. So, just saying my part.
So how did you and Mary connect souls as mother-daughter?
Well, we go to this place called the Gardenia Lounge, where there's a fabulous open mic hosted by Kerry Kelsey. And it's, I believe, the oldest cabaret club in the country. So I saw Mary there, and she just blew my mind. And I got up the courage one day. I just heard, when you hear those voices that say, do this, do that, and you don't know why you're doing them, but you do it anyway. And one day I heard the voice say, ask her. And so I invited myself to dinner because I love to eat. And she loves to cook, so it's a wonderful combination. And I asked her to be my mentor because I just felt there's something for those of you who don't know Mary or who haven't met her, when you meet her, you understand there is something special about this woman. And she's all heart. And she's full of integrity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can second and third and fourth that.
Thank you.
With my own stories of her.
Yeah. And I think that, and my sense is that when you have a relationship, whatever kind of relationship, it is, there's more gold in there when you're willing to be truthful with each other.
Yes.
And I knew that from Mary, I would get the truth, whether it felt good or not. She would just tell me, hey, babe.
Yeah, pretty much, baby.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you asked for it and now you got it.
Exactly.
I got it.
Yeah.
No, I could tell you a little brief thing about her. When I honored her on International Jazz Day in 2015, Mary made us cups. She made us books, things that I have always imagined having to give out as a guest for, to my. She made them, and with no questions asked, she didn't even, nothing. So I have fallen in love with her and her heart since I've met her, and she has been one of the most encouraging jazz and blues legends that I've honored over these years. So I love her to death.
You're welcome.
Don't make me cry up in here because we ain't got time. That's why I don't wear makeup, because I ain't got time to be worried it off my eyes and all that. But I am so grateful that you guys have joined me today.
Well, thank you.
Well, tell me a little bit about the show. What you guys got cooking?
Go ahead, Claude.
Well, I had been prepping a show, and Mary and I were on the phone, and I said, Mary, why don't we do a show together?
No, wait. You know that wasn't your idea. Don't even lie.
It was our idea, Mom.
It was our idea so we could save money.
Because
It's not cheap putting a show together.
Oh, you tell me about it.
Yeah, there's that, but there was also this thought. As I was talking about what I wanted to do, I said, wait a second. This next show is supposed to be with Mama Bogue.
Yes.
Because that's what I call her. I call her Mama Bogue. And then we thought of Mary came up with the name of Both Sides Now. And the more I sat with it, I realized that is the next show, because we always do a theme. What's the arc of the show? What's the story?
Right.
And my journey on this planet has been about coming from a place of feeling like I'm unworthy, like I'm not supposed to be here.
You too?
Uh-huh.
Girl, we need to talk after this.
I never had that issue. I knew I was supposed to be here.
And that's why I asked you to mentor me. So, and then I realized that finally, at this age, I am coming to, I have come to understand
We're
that
there now.
Yeah, I have every right to be here.
I had to do that same thing, so I'm with you.
So that's what my part of the show is about. It's about that journey from not loving myself, not valuing myself, to being in a place where I'm worth it.
Absolutely. And how did you contribute to that, Miss Bogue?
Claude and I just work instinctively together so well that it's silly and surprising. At the same time, and the music that we've come up with for the show is really phenomenal, and we're doing 3 duets together. So, and we just laid it down with our musical arranger, the great Steve Rollins, who does all my charts.
Another jazz legend.
Yes. Wonderful musical director, great jazz pianist, and another living legend of jazz, as you know. And Steve, I think, was even kind of surprised, because usually, I employ Steve because he's so honest. He'll say, like, yeah, no. And I'm like, really? It sounded so organic. And like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh. But then he'll call me back 5 minutes later and say, okay, you're right, that works. So we have that kind of open relationship going on, and this is just a natural extension of who we are as 2 individuals who are on the same, the same wavelength. We're at the same table, and we're serving up the same thing, which is a reflection of our lives and our loves. And my part of the show is really about past loves, failed loves, and then the new love, honey.
Oh, yes.
We're talking about Superman now.
Don't forget to call us, you guys, 323-293-3375. Whenever we get the notice that someone's calling in, we'll just stop and take your call.
That would be your hint, Mr. Levy.
Yes. So, I'm excited. Now, Vitello's, do they have a website for them to go and get tickets at Vitello's, VITELLO.com. S.com.
Yeah, so
Vitello's
it's
Restaurants.com.
Vitello's Restaurant. It's there on the screen for you. I need to stop looking up there. I'm looking at my own camera. Vitello's Restaurant.com to get tickets to this amazing show. You're going to miss out.
And you know what? And you're right to get tickets now because it's $20 now. The venue has a new policy. It's $10 more at the door. Yeah. And that's because, it's an interesting reason why.
I'm with the venue.
And you know why.
Because of the preparation that you have to do at the last minute for people who just want to walk up to the door.
Exactly.
Oh, don't get me started. That's my pet peeve.
I know, because you won't get the service you need. So now what they've done, their new policy is the cover plus 10 at the door. So now would be a really good time to go to vitellosrestaurant.com.
And get your tickets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have fun, and it's a great quartet we have.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I agree with Vitello's. I'm not that I'm plugging y'all in because I'm doing this show every month. And people call at the last minute and want to walk up to the door and make sure that I have a wonderful seat for them, which I always try to.
Yeah.
But please, in advance, our show is next week, but in advance to get your tickets would really help me prepare. So much for that. I'm not talking about that no more. September 24th, next week, we have Pat Sly and Bobby Pierce and Clayton Cameron and Bobby Spencer and John B. Williams on bass. It is going to be off the chain.
Nice.
It has been amazing how eclectically I have put these legends together. It was just out of a sheer pick a bass man, pick a piano player, pick a drummer, pick a this.
Well, you have a large variety of such talented musicians to choose from.
So I'm excited to continue to doing this work. I'm going to continue to do this work for 4 more years.
Thank you.
That's it.
Only 4.
Right?
Yes, I'll be 60, girl. I'm done.
Oh, Lord.
4 more years, 60.
Child.
Going to travel the world. That's the plan.
All right. Well, that's a good plan.
What about Jazzabrations around the world?
That's my goal. In these next 4 years, I want to build it up so wherever I go traveling, I'm going to travel to do a show. You know what I mean?
What you mean is you building it up so you can deduct it from your taxes.
Oh, yes. Speaking of that, let me tell you, interestingly enough, mentor, I got me one.
Oh, really?
Out of all these years, I got me an attorney, a trademark intellectual property.
Oh, good for you.
Attorney.
Good for
so
you.
you know what my head is swimming towards after 7 years. After none of everything.
Well, good. I had lunch with somebody who I recently met at an event at Steinway, and you have to follow your instinct. You have to just go where your
passion takes you.
Where your path takes you. And we were having lunch, and he looked at me and he said, "Claude, you have got to remember that there are 2 words: show business, and business is just as much a part of that whole, world,
absolutely,
as the show." So you're right.
Well, it's been my passion just to bring this art form into my generation. When I'm 56, and so a lot of my generation had no idea about the jazz and blues legends that's just right here in L.A.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm not talking about across the country.
That's sad.
Right.
I'm talking about right here in L.A. And so when I started this, 7 years ago with Buddy Collette and Michael White, who's no longer here with us, and Clora Bryan over a conversation around protecting the legacies of jazz and blues musicians, I just wanted my generation. Do you know? And that's why I started out with Smooth Ahead. See, it was Smooth Ahead. So, because my generation, smooth jazz, they was all into it.
Right.
But they didn't know what that ahead was, straight ahead.
Oh,
So when I put them 2 together and I brought them into these audiences, they're like, where's Kenny G? Or where's...
Right.
I was like, you getting it. You getting it straight ahead. This is smooth, yes. But you getting it straight ahead. And this is my audience and this is my arena where I want to bring you into so you can learn about the roots that produce the fruits.
Yeah. The American to Paris to learn the roots, because growing up in Queens, I was listening to rap and pop and then the jazz that I heard, it just didn't appeal to me. And I moved to Paris, and my first husband, his father was a jazz saxophonist that played with Miles Davis.
Oh, my God.
With Bud
That's
Powell.
royalty.
And so all we listened to at home was the greats of jazz. And so it was in Paris that I got that
the bug.
education.
Because it wasn't here for me. I got a little bit of Hugh Masekela from my brother because he was a Congo player
Oh, cool.
when I was
Yeah.
coming up. But
Yeah.
other than that, I had no clue.
Right.
And then it got into sponsoring jazz festivals and became a little part-time manager for Al Williams at the Long Beach Jazz Festival. Al Williams, hey, shout you out, Al, because he really helped me to really get the bug for Straight Ahead, because he
Right.
was a Straight Ahead player. He's a Straight Ahead player, so I had to find these gigs for him, Straight Ahead venues, Straight Ahead festivals, and I was
Cool.
just like, you know what, after a while, I'm tired. I can't do that no more. So let me figure out something else. And so that's why I had to say smooth. And that's how I came up with Smooth Ahead, because I started telling him, you know, you got to stay straight ahead, you know. But I'm going to be the smooth, bring in my smooth head community, because we were hooked on the Kenny G's of the world.
Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry.
I know. I didn't know no better
I
then,
know,
and I know now.
Well, you're
But
educated now,
yes,
so right on.
7 years later,
Whew.
132 jazz and blues legends here in L.A. that we've honored.
That's
And-
beautiful.
And on September the 24th, we're going to be adding 2 more. So that's what we do. But I am so happy that you are here, that you came to visit me on my
thank
4th
you.
show, Jazzabrations Live.
Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely.
We are honored.
And you'll have to come back for more, you know, because once I blow up, it's going to really be huge.
I blew up once, but salt pills help, whatever.
Salt
Never mind.
pills?
No. All right, water pills. Different kind of a blow up. You know what I mean?
Well, anyway,
Just saying.
Jazzabrations Live with Mary Bogue and Claude Hall.
Claude. My daughter's name is Claude.
Claude Hall.
Looks like Claude. We've had this conversation.
I know.
Would everyone please write her?
No,
Tell her.
no. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. You just have to know her.
That's right,
Right.
Claude.
You know her, and then you know it's not Claude, and it's Claude. And so when I have
There
to
you
fix my
go.
mouth to say and look at her and say Claude versus Claude.
Which sounds a lot like clouds.
I
Which-
don't mind clouds.
No, I don't either. I just hope that when I sing both sides now with you on the 19th, that I don't say I've looked at cloud from both sides now. That would be like so inappropriate.
So yes, both sides now, October the 19th at Vitello's.
Upstairs at Vitello's.
VitellosRestaurant.com to get your tickets in advance now, because they will be $30 at the
And
door.
you might as well take that $10 and buy yourself a drink.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Just saying.
totally.
So we definitely look forward to seeing all of you there. I will be there in the audience, and I will be counting those who say they were going to come. So it doesn't look like Peter is going to call in. Do we have to text Peter?
Oh, no.
We're going to text
You know
Peter
what?
and say,
If he can't do it on his own, I'm just
but he
saying.
wanted to so
No,
bad.
he'll pay the price later. Don't worry.
Okay, well, I'm not going to end until Peter. We're going to just sit here until Peter calls. No,
Peter.
but he wanted to call in and say hi.
He
to
did.
his honey.
He did.
But he must be having a little challenge right now. So
Well.
is something wrong with the phone?
God bless him. Well, he thinks one of the songs on Blue Smoke was written just for him. It was written by Wayne Moore, called My Superman. And he is my hero. And whether or not he calls in, he'll still be my hero. He's still my
Oh,
Superman.
he's on the line.
He is?
Hi.
Peter? Oh, we have to hold on.
Okay.
Well, I've held on to Peter once or twice before in my life.
Yes, we can. I knew it was
Just saying. Just saying. Wouldn't be the first.
As many people as I asked to call in, I knew something was.
You can ask Peter about My Superman.
Peter's there.
Oh, yeah. The first time he heard it.
Here I am.
Oh,
Hey,
hi,
Peter.
honey.
I just want you to know that one of the best things that has happened,
One of the best things that happened, that's all I heard.
one of the best things that's happened today is I discovered that I can access your program from New York City via the internet and watch you on a great big screen, and I'm having such fun doing it. I'm going to turn over every Sunday afternoon to your show.
Oh, thank you, Peter from New York. That's Mary's Bogue. I wish I had FaceTime Live right now. I would FaceTime you, Peter.
Peter ain't no, piece of leftover. Peter, as you know, is the publisher of Jazzabrations magazine.
Yes, I do.
And has a lot to do with the Metropolitan Room in New York City, where I've done a few of his shows. So,
and we do have more than a couple of jazz radio shows, but the ability to watch you on the screen when you're interviewing the people and listening to music is such a delight.
Oh, thank you. Thanks to Felicia Morris. This is her studio, Peter. You'll have to bring her to New York and maybe do some work for you at the Metropolitan Room when Mary's there. How about that?
oh yeah,
I like the idea.
Okay, Felicia. He likes that idea of bringing you to New York and bringing this to the Metropolitan Room. We'll keep that under wraps. So whenever she travels, I'm coming too. So we'll make it a show.
That's a deal.
Thank you so much for calling in, Peter. How many times did you try to call in? No, I'm just kidding. All righty. Thank you, Peter.
Now, the only thing that could be better was if you were on at 3 in the morning when night owls like me could sit here in the dark and look at you.
Oh, night owls in the morning. Well, it's going to be, what do you call that? On demand, so you can just watch it over and over and over.
There
Get those
go,
clicks
honey.
up for me.
Yeah, that is terrific. I'm pleased to know that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. And I know Mary loves
for
you.
having this show. It's a lovely show.
Thank you.
and you don't lie.
No.
And if you'd like to send a donation, you could send that to Morningside at 8722 Crenshaw Boulevard in Inglewood. That'll help me with the Jazzabrations live show.
All right.
That's good. I'm glad to know that.
Thank you, Peter. Mary,
I know.
I love
know.
you.
You love him too now, don't you?
I know.
Yes, thank you, Peter.
To know Peter is to love Peter.
Yes.
How many times have we girls said that? Bye, honey. I love you.
Bye, Peter. Oh, my God. Now my day is over. I could go home and be happy that Peter called in and he was able to get through to us today. Well, I want to thank you, my guests, for being here. Miss Claude Hall.
Thank you so
My
much.
Emerging Artists series is coming up in 2018. So I'd love to have you to be a part of that, because Mary is going to be my mentor in helping me to make sure that that show is well.
I think that's a stunning idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
You can't keep your hand on the pulse without putting it there. You got to put it there.
That's
so
right.
if you want the pulse of the young folk,
Absolutely.
then you need to put your hand on their pulse and find them.
And I've always been trying to find a way to merge us. With the Smooth Ahead, they didn't get it.
Right.
Now I can do it with my radio show, with the series that I'm doing. Thank you to my wonderful church family. You guys, are you coming Sunday?
We're planning
It's
on it,
intent.
yeah.
Okay.
That's my intent,
Yeah.
but I
If
have
you
no
don't,
challenges going on.
Yes, but if you want to come, please come so that you can meet my church family who has helped me to make this into the most wonderful series ever that I've ever done in 7 years.
I've met your church family, and they are a mighty, powerful group of people who love you immensely from the bottom of their hearts and souls.
Oh, you came and met them?
Honey,
I don't even
please.
remember. See,
You don't remember.
Yeah.
it's just been
When you were
Can't
doing
remember.
Dolores.
Dolores.
Dolores Scorsese. We were there for
and
that.
Tom Culver.
That's
we were
right.
There.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we saw the love in that room. It's amazing to witness.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You should all come, even if you don't want to listen to the music and you just want to get a little dose of love.
A big dose of love, too.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And-
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break and we're
All
going
right.
to change and come back. Thank you for watching Jazzabrations Live here on MorrisMediaLive.com. Tell a friend and call us at 323-293-3375. See you in a minute.
Must be catching. I got it. You've got it. Everybody's got it. It must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Birds in the tree, man, they got it. Fish in the sea, they've got it. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. No need to worry. It started with Adam. He looked at Eve, and man, she had him. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Say la vie. Why should you doubt it? You can't live without it. Man, I know you can't live without it. It must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Now when I was 2, I didn't think of it. Since I met you, oh man, I love it. Must be catching. Ooh, it's love. Ooh, it's love. I got it. Baby, you've got it. We've got it. It's love.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back. Am I back on? Yes. Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. I had a phenomenal first half of the show with my jazz living legend friend Mary Bogue and her daughter Claude Hall. And now for my second half of the show, I have a very good friend that I've known for a very long time, and she is a jazz vocalist as well. Welcome to my show, Rita Edmond. Hey, Rita.
Hey, how are you?
There goes that fake voice that everybody say, get rid of.
What fake voice?
Mine.
Oh.
When I'm so excited, I get this old high-pitched voice that I have to bring down. Bring it down, Linda.
I'll bring it down.
Welcome, Rita.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you for joining me on my 4th episode of Jazzabrations Live.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Very good thing.
Appreciate it. And you were here at my first inaugural toast that we had with all of my friends. So I appreciate you coming in. And let's just jump right in. What are you doing? What's on the next horizon for you?
Well, coming up this month, I have a couple of gigs. I've been working with the DFQ, which is the Dale Fielder Quartet, for over maybe 5 years, but I was always just a featured guest. And when I returned from Thailand, I spoke with Dale a couple of times when I was in Thailand, and he had written a couple of songs, and they were in the process of recording. And basically, they included me in the group now, so I am a full member of the DFQ. And I recorded the most recent and newest CD is Resilience, and I have 2 songs that I've recorded written by Dale on the CD.
Do we have the CD? We're going to play some of that music when we go to break, right?
No.
Okay. So we got another song.
We have another, but I can get it for you when I come back from break. It's in my car. I forgot about that one.
Okay, well, great. Well, tell us, how can people find you online? I know you have a following.
Well, also I have another show coming up on the show with Dale is at the Hotel Normandy on the 23rd. With the DFQ, and then I also have a show with a charity, and I really hope everyone come out. It's called Classical Notes, and it's at the Pasadena City College, and she needs her funding, so you got to have some people in seats, and so that would be great to keep that up. And it's something that she does. She actually just started doing it again. She used to do it, and so this is her first time. I think in maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay, and who is she?
And that is Jerry Price.
Jerry Price. Okay, yes. She's put in, and the name of her show is
Classical Notes with a Z. Classical Notes.
Classical Notes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's going to be myself. It's going to be women of music. So we have twins who are singing opera, and one lady who's going to be doing a lot of maybe Cuban music, and then myself, I bring in the jazz.
Oh, great. Well, where can they go to get tickets for that show?
And it's free. It's free, absolutely free. Just come on the 29th to Pasadena City College, and you'll get a seat there in the auditorium.
What time?
Free. And the show we hit at 7. So
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yes.
Okay, 7 p.m. at Pasadena City College. I'm going to be there for that show. That's free. My budget allows.
Yeah, and I believe they're recording live too for. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she mentioned they will be recording live for KCOP or something like that. Yeah. So.
Oh, great! Well, the fact that you would be there, let's just tell the audience to go right there and just come and see Rita Edmonds at the city. But on the 23rd, which is a Saturday, she's going to be at
Hotel Normandy. It's on Normandy and 6th Street, right on the corner. And they own that famous restaurant, Castell's. It was supposed to be really famous with their hamburgers, but personally, I like the salad.
Okay.
But come on through. That's on the 23rd.
That's next Saturday.
And that one actually is $20, so it's $20 at the door.
And do they have an online website where you can get the tickets as well?
No, you purchase there.
Oh, purchase at the door, $20. I look forward to that. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring up some of your music while we're on break for a quick moment. Great. How do you like that?
I like that. That's nice.
Okay, so we'll be right back. But don't forget to call us.
No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. Yet I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you've got. I've had my share, I've drank my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill and do it all again. So here's to life and every joy it brings. So here's to life, to the dreamers and their dreams. Funny how time goes past, how love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes and leave you with the memories you've memorized to keep your winters warm. But there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm in the game, I want to play for laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and every joy it brings. So here.
Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. Woo, that sounds so good, Rita.
Thank you, Linda.
That's amazing. I definitely got to put that in my jazz library. Felicia, speaking of that, we need to make us a little jazz library of all our artists that come to the show, so we can just have them in our little arsenal when we're ready to pull them out. But thank you, and welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. And my guest is Rita Edmond, one of my jazz diva friends. I have so many jazz diva friends, and I'm so happy that you could join us today as well. To talk about you and your projects and everything that you're doing in jazz, helping us to keep this jazz moving forward for the next generations. Absolutely. That's our job, to make sure that the next generation behind us keeps up with this music. They can put names with faces that they can become in contact with. And that's another reason why my show is so important too, is because they may see Mary on Facebook or see you on Facebook and not know you, but they can come to the shows and see you and meet you personally, right, and make that networking connection. I do have jazznetworking.com. I own that domain too. I'll put a website on that so we can continue this jazz networking, because I think we have to network more with the next generation from their perspective, so that they can understand the music. Because once we play it and they hear it, they'll get it. So what do you say about the next generation of jazz? Do you think we're in good hands?
I would say, as far as I've heard, I know the drummer, he has all of his grandchildren are great.
That's Donald Dean.
Yeah, Donald Dean.
Jamel Dean, Darren Dean are doing it.
And they're doing real jazz. They're doing the classic jazz, which this is the jazz I like. I don't have a problem with any other jazz. There's so many various genres, but I really love the
straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
Let's call it what it is. It's the roots.
Yeah, I love
the roots that produce the fruits, as my mentor Larry Ridley would say.
Yeah. So I believe that with more of these young people coming up and listening and contributing to jazz, and they'll put their own modern day spin on it, but it still will sound good, because from what I'm hearing, it sounds great.
And you know what? You just made me come up with an idea. For every person who brings a young person to the jazz show, I have something for you. How about that? I don't know what it's going to be, but bring a young person with you when you come to the Jazzabrations, so that they can hear the music, because without them being able to hear it, they're not going to appreciate it and be able to keep it and carry it on for generations to come. Because, that's what the whole Legend series has always been about, is continuing their legacy when they're no longer here. Right. Do you know, speaking of that, do you guys know that since we started this in 2010, we've lost 11 legends. And I'm grateful to have been able to honor them while they were here. That's why it's living legends. I could be a millionaire off of dead jazz musicians. Let me just put it out there, because there's a way that you could do that. But I decided I'm not dealing with anyone that's already gone, because there's nothing I could tell them, nothing that I could tell their family. You have to be able to keep this legacy alive generations by telling your generations behind you to bring up this music, bring it up, bring up your family, keep up with them, help put their information out there so that we can know about them. Absolutely. And keep up with them. Absolutely. And so you're in that generation with me. We're in the same age group to really help spearhead keeping it.
Well, speaking of younger people, I do have a niece who is now in music. She plays piano, and she's singing a lot of my songs. I'm helping her and working with her vocally, so she'll be coming up pretty soon.
Is she here in
LA? She's here in LA. Not in LA, but here in California.
Okay.
And I see her on a regular, and I'm working with her. And even though she has friends pulling her to that other side, I'm still pulling her back to. I started actually in R&B too. so it's okay. No, actually, I did start in jazz with my grandma, but then I kind of went to the other side, but I always kept that jazz in my heart, and I came back to it. And I wanted to briefly mention that song that played, Here's to Life. Yeah. It was written by Artie Butler, and I just wanted to give you a quick story on that, because when it was initially released and it was being aired on radio, Artie heard it and he couldn't find me for some reason. He started calling all the musicians on the CD, and he finally caught up with, at the time I made a mistake, and look, it was fate. It was fate because I had put Lou Matthews as the piano player, but it actually was Joel Scott. And but I made a note on YouTube that it was Lou Matthews, and he contacted Lou, and Lou contacted me, and so I did get to speak with him, and he told me that he really loved my rendition of the song, and it was like one of the best. But he couldn't say, because he said, "You know who recorded it." Whoever you know who is, I still don't know who that is. But I really appreciate that this great writer. I mean, all the songs that he's written. Midnight Train to Georgia. I mean, just tons of hits. I mean, he's a wonderful writer. And he wrote that with Phyllis Molinaro, who has passed on. But I felt honored that he contacted me. And he also gave me a review, so I posted it on my YouTube, and I'll probably post. He gave me 2 reviews, actually. So yeah.
Oh my God! Here's to Life is coming up.
Yes.
That's a show that one of our legends, Marty LaCroix, is doing on next week as well. I'll give you a plug, Marty, because you're my legend. She has a show called Here's to Life. It's all about suicide prevention.
Okay.
Which I can relate to, because I've been there.
Wow.
Been there, done that. Yes, not ashamed to say it. But I've overcome that. So,
yes, absolutely.
Big ups to you, Marty, with your show next week, Here's to Life. But that song, yes. And he normally goes to that show, because I met him with you, Mary, at your show.
Artie?
Yes.
Yeah.
When we did her show at Vitello.
He's a sweet man. Yeah.
So, see how our lives interchange and intertwine, and we don't even know it. Yes.
Small world, yes.
Well, we have 10 minutes left of the show, and I'm going to just talk up to you about a few things and plug these 3 shows that I have coming up. Of course, next week, we have our Jazzabration with Pat Sly and Bobby Pierce and Clayton Cameron on drums and Bobby Spencer on sax and John B. Williams. I'm so happy that they're going to come and be a part of our 9th Jazzabration that we've had at the side. Jazzabrations live at the side. And then on October the 7th, I have Dinah Washington coming to Inglewood. I know I didn't give you this, Felicia, and you probably can't see it on there, but I'm going to hold it like right here. And Bobby Lee Anderson met my pastor, Mark Roba, and Bonnie at a show in Orange County. And they fell in love with her. So go to our website. You'll see she does a Dinah Washington show. She'll be at our sanctuary on October the 7th. So follow me. You'll see I got tickets for that show as well. And then our October show coming up, we're honoring Donald Littleton and Michael Soche. And that will be a show with Elena Gilliam, Mikel Majid, George Gilliam on guitar, Durf Reclaw on flute. And then Roy McCurdy was going to be my drummer, but he has to go out of town, so Donald Dean is taking his place on that show.
Even though go wrong with Donald Dean.
Yeah. Oh yes, but even though I printed 2,000 of these cards, I just want to put it out there early. Roy McCurdy is not going. Yes, he's not going to be able to make it. But Donald Dean is an absolute great substitute, okay? Because I'm not going to print another 2,000 cards, because I just want to put that out there right now. Get that one clear. But yeah, so those are the shows that I'm doing, and I'm going to always bring this platform for us. This is not a platform for me. This is a platform for us. So anytime any of my, I'm not going to call you emerging artists, any of my emerging artist friends would like to come on the show and bring your wonderfulness, to the show, because I'm lining it up for 2018. I'm doing emerging artist shows along with legend shows. My music director, Miss Latrice Lawrence, if you're there, give me a call so we could talk about it. We're going to divvy it up next year. I'm going to do 6. She's going to do 6. And that way we can bring these two worlds together. So the emerging artists need to meet the legends, and the legends need to be inspired by the emerging artists. So I think it's a fabulous idea. Thank you, Mary Bogue, for mentoring me and helping me to get that idea out there. And I'm putting it out in the universe early. On that same note, we're going to have a black and white ball in December the 17th. A $100 ticket, black and white ball that will help us to get Clara Bryant a star on the wall, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She turned 90 this year, and it is my dying wish to help her to get her star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. So if I put on this amazing $100 plate, and y'all know how I do it, $100 plate dinner with great entertainment. We're going to have Betty Bryan. We're going to have Donald Dean on that one. We're going to have Richard Simon being honored on that day. So it's going to be an amazing time. But those are, that's going to be our finale for this year to celebrate all of our Jazzabrations that we've done over the year. I'm inviting all of the legends to come out and participate in this wonderful fundraiser for Clara Bryant. Right. I believe right now she is our oldest living legend that we have.
She's the youngest living legend you have in heart.
Yes. In terms of her maturity, yes. She's 90 years young, still singing, still dropping it like it's hot, like my mama at 87.
Exactly. Got tons of energy.
I want to be able to help her sons do this for her. And, who knows? Maybe this is something that we'll continue to do for all the legends. Work towards building a way for us to make sure that they have a star before they pass. I don't want to have a star after they're gone. Right. I want them to be able to see that star go down while they're here.
Exactly.
That's just another thing on my plate. Yes, I'm piling it up on my plate as I talk. Right. Every time I have a show, something new comes up. Last week I talked to Pat Sly. Nolan, I'm still calling you. Shahid, yes. But Mary gave me an idea.
Nolan's
great. Mentoring is great. Pat is one of those legends that have not put out her own first CD. So I told her, I said, I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen, to get you your first CD. And maybe there's other jazz legends that want their first CD. So I'm going to do a compilation CD. Mary told me about the idea of coming up with a compilation CD of all of the ones that don't have their first CD. And then we use that to sell and to get the money for each one of them to be able to go in Nolan Shahid's studio. Nolan, you get right there, be busy between you and Steve Rollins. And I know somebody else is a producer and studio stuff. So I'm going to be reaching out to y'all to figure out how you're going to help me to make this compilation CD with all these legends who have not produced their first CD, so that we can start a windmill of money coming in from that product, so that they each can record their own CD before they get out of here. Okay, that's my goal. That's what I want to do, and I think we can do it. I know we can do it, because anything I set my mind to, I'm going to make it happen, because that's just who I am. And I'm going to, once I put it in the universe, see, I have to put everything, I don't care.
Put it in the universe.
I put it in the universe, because that's where it's going to happen. The universe is going to return whatever it is that I ask for. God helps me. When I go walking, y'all know about my walking, my pennies. God shows up every time I walk. Ain't that right, honey? I know it. What? To what?
Get back to her.
Okay, I have in-studio guests, y'all, as you know. So, with this last couple of minutes, Rita, what would you like to tell our audience? How can they find you online?
I have a website, ritaedmond.com. You can find me on Facebook. I have 2 sites there. Actually working on a third because I have a horrible hacker. But you can find me right now at Rita E Jazz on Facebook, or either Rita Edmond Jazz on Facebook.
And that's EDMOND.
Yeah, no S. No U, and no S.
No
okay?
E and no
EDMO. Indeed, yes.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for joining me on my 4th show of Jazzabrations Live here at Morris Media Studios.com. Felicia, Thank you so much for having
Doing a
us
great
today.
job, Miss Felicia.
I am so honored to have you as my guest, and
Yay.
we'll see you guys next week. Oh, next week. The show is at 8:30 in the morning. Remember, because it will be our Jazzabration show. I come on at 8:30 in the morning, and then we have our show that evening. So look for the website, morrismedialive.com/Jazzabrations Live, and you'll be able to play this show over and see some of the past. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
by the way, real quick, I do have 2 CDs, Sketches of a Dream and A Glance of Destiny, so you guys can find them, and if you want to pick them up and support, that'll help keep jazz alive as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and till next week, Jazzabrations Live.
No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. Yet I have learned